Hey guys, TTL or Test the Limit here yet again, and today I'm going to be going over my Season 11 Kha'Zix guide. In the description there is going to be timestamps for everything, but I'm pretty much going to be going over his evolutions, his item build, his full clear, what to do at different stages of the game, his rune page, and just give you a full rundown on Kha'Zix, pretty much everything you need to know. I hope you enjoy, and yeah, let's get straight into it. So here we have the rune page. I'm always run this rune page when I'm playing Kha'Zix, except for when I'm going tank Kha'Zix, but I only do that maybe 1% of my games. So I go the domination tree, and I go electrocute, sudden impact, eyeball collection with ravenous hunter. And then secondarily, I go Sorcery Tree with Nimbus Cloak and Absolute Focus. I go this rune page almost every single time I play Kha'Zix. Electrocute is just so much more consistent than Dark Harvest. I go Dark Harvest if I'm smurfing, but for Dark Harvest to have the same amount of same amount of value as Electrocute, you need to get 25 plus stacks, and you need to be able to pop it 2 or 3 times, even at that point in the late game. So I just feel like Electrocute is just it's always consistent. Every single time you use 3 abilities, your Electrocute is proccing. Sudden Impact, that's pretty obvious. You get Lethality and Magic Pen after using your Leap. Eyeball Collection, the more kills you get some permanent AD. Ravenous Hunter, you get Omnivamp, which is awesome with your Q. And then Sorcery, you can switch Nimbus Cloak for Gathering Storm if you think it's going to be like a 40-minute plus game. But with Nimbus Cloak, I prefer the movement speed. So when I smite or flash, I get that little movement speed that just allows me to catch up or get away from the enemies. And then Absolute Focus, when you're above 70% health, you gain extra adaptive damage. I love Absolute Focus. I love running it. You can also run Transcendence, but after the changes, I just really like Absolute Focus. I always go the 2 adaptive forces, and then the bottom for the armor, you can go armor or magic resist. It really depends on what the other team comp is. Here we have the item build. So this is just an example from my OPGG on my Smurf account right now. I went 12, 9, and 8, whatever. Not that great of a score, but you can see the build path that I went. And every single game, I'll get Blue Smite, and then I'll go into that Prowlers. So after Prowlers, I usually just get tier 1 boots and then start building some more damage. But after the Prowlers, you're going to want to go Ionian boots. And the reason for this is if you go Duskblade, you get some of that ability haste already. But if you go Prowlers, you pretty much have no ability haste. So I like getting the Ionian boots to kind of just give you that little bit of ability haste. And then usually I'll go tier after Ionians so that I can immediately start stacking my tier. And then I'll go Serpent's Fang. So if you have like 1100 gold, don't get the tier, just get a like serrated dirk, and then on the next back get your tier because you want that early damage. But if you have like 1500, just get a dirk and the tier and then finish your serpents. After finishing serpents, I'll finish my Manamune, and then that's pretty much just the core build. I'd run this 99% of games. Serpent's Fang is phenomenal. So it gets rid of their shields, but not only that, it's just such a good value item. So the amount of stats that you get for how much gold the item costs, it's always worth it, even if the enemy has 0 shields. If they have 1 or 2 shields, 3 shields, 4 shields, whatever, that just makes it even more better. As for Manamune, this item gives you the most AD damage of any single item in the game, next to IE. So IE, I think, gives you 75 AD, and when you have a fully stacked Manamune, it's giving you around 84, 83. So, I mean, it's just non-comparable. I have no idea why no one does it as much as I do it every single game pretty much. But after that, so you have four options. You have Serelda's Grudge, Edge of Night, Black Cleaver, and GA. If they have even just one tank, I almost always build Serelda's Grudge. It's similar to Serpent's Fang in the fact that the amount of value you get for your gold, like the stats to gold ratio just isn't there. It's just so good. Like it's like mispriced heavily. So I recommend getting the Serelda's Grudge, and then for your final item, you can get Eon, Black Cleaver, or GA. And the reason I get one of these three is that they're all pretty safe. So if I'm really fed and they just have like one or two stuns, I'll normally go for the Eon, the Edge of Night, just to kind of get that spell block, and then I can jump in. Black Cleaver is a good option if you need that extra health as well, extra tankiness. And then GA is pretty much, if I build Black Cleaver, I'm going to die anyway. They have like 20 stuns, so I'm just going to build a GA so that once I die, I get an extra life. And next we have the evolutions. So without getting too much into this, you have 4 evolutions. When every single time you level up your R, you have an evolution. You can evolve your Q, W, E, or R, all of your abilities. Your Q gives you extra range on your Q and your auto attacks, and it gives you half cooldown if you Q someone that's isolated. Your W sends out 3 spikes instead of 1 and adds a huge slow on those spikes. Your leap, your E, gives you longer range on your leap, and it also gives you a reset on your leap if you get a kill. And your R, it gives you extra time in your invisibility and gives you an extra usage of your R. So you have 3 instead of 2. With a simple TLDR, if you're going to Duskblade, I go QWE or QEW. And this is really just dependent on how fed you are. I go QWE if I want to help my team snowball. If I'm just kind of going even, I'm not really fed. And I go QEW if I'm just super fed, I'm going Dark Harvest, I have a ton of Dark Harvest stacks, and I just want to jump from enemy to enemy and just kill. So I usually go Prowlers though, and if I go Prowlers, I go R Evolve first. And the reason for this is, if you go Duskblade, you don't want to go R Evolve because you already have the invisibility on a kill. So you have a lot less time you can use your R if you're going Duskblade, because you're already invisible and getting your passive. But if you're going Prowlers, you can go that R Evolve first and then go W and E. I prefer this way over the Q Evolve. Once you get used to not having that extra bit of range, you kind of realize just how weak the Q Evolve is. It doesn't really do much. It doesn't add any damage or anything like that. So, I mean, it doesn't really change anything. Meanwhile, your R Evolve changes quite a bit. And here we have the first clear. So, this is just a map of the Summoner's Rift. And pretty much just going to draw what my first clear is on each side. Some different options, and then I'm going to go into a game and show you the first clear there. So, you have 2 options. And I almost always skip a camp, but it really depends. So the first thing you want to do is in your loading screen or in champ select, you want to have a goal on what lane are you going to gank. So you need to decide, are you going to camp top? Are you going to camp bot? Like, what lane is the most gankable and what laner would you want to be fit? So if I'm on blue side and I decide that I want to gank top, I would start my red buff. And instead of going to my Krugs, I've been doing a 5 clear. So I would skip my Krugs and then just 5 camp so that I can be finished by the time Scuttle comes up. Because Gromp is way more important than Krugs in my honest opinion. So I would just drag them over, get Raptors, go this way, get Wolves, then Blue, and then Gromp. Now, I will say, after Wolves, you're still going to be level 2 because you didn't get the Krugs. That's okay. You get level 3 and then level 4 from Scuttle, so it's no big deal. And you can honestly start the Scuttle with Smite now, and it automatically gets rid of its shield. And then you can look for that top gank that you were wanting to do early on. And then on the opposite, if you're wanting to gank bot, I would actually full clear in that case. So I would just go my blue start, go Gromp, Wolves, and so on and so forth. And then you can look for that bot gank either through the lane, through the bushes, or through the river. So yeah, just make sure you're being proactive. You're thinking like, do I want to gank bot? Do I want to gank top? How should I path? So you always start on the opposite side of the map so that you can be level 3 or level 4 before ganking the lane that you would like to. What I've been doing a lot recently, I've been duoing with my AD carry. So I've been starting red buff on the red side, just doing Raptors, Wolves, Blue Gromp, Scuttle, and then I usually go through their try, and they're usually pushed up about right here, and we get a free kill. And then, of course, the same on the other side too. You can go this way, full clear, and then look for the gank top lane. It's pretty simple. I'm going to show it to you really quickly, and then we can get back into some other information. Alright guys, and right here we have one of those examples that I was just telling you about where I'm duoing with the AD carry. So what I did is I warded my blue, the pixel bush in bot side, and then decided, like I knew from the beginning that my goal this game was gonna be to camp bot lane and gank bot lane a lot. So what happened is I started my red, and Gangplank gives me that sweet leash. It was a decent leash, it's whatever. So I get my red buff, and then I just 5 camp, and then scuttle and look for a bot gank. So you're going to drag your buff to your next camp. Mine was Raptors. And for Raptors, you're pretty much going to auto each raptor, each small raptor once. And then you're going to use 2 W's, and the burn will kill off all of the small raptors, as you can see is happening right now. And then just use your auto attacks to take the big raptor. A similar playstyle with wolves. You're going to auto each small wolf twice and use your W for the burn, and then just auto the big wolf for the rest. And since I'm 5 camping, I actually smite wolves to get that extra little HP. Okay, I actually don't smite wolves this game. That's what I've been doing recently. Sorry about that little error, but I would recommend smiting those wolves. Instead, this game I just smite blue. It's either way, but I usually just smite wolves now. And the reason I do that is to make sure that my smite is up for the scuttle to get rid of its armor. And then Gromp and blue are pretty self-explanatory. You just kite the camp to the next area you're walking to. And then bot lane actually already killed Kate. So this game, what I end up doing is I take this scuttle, and I think we dive. I'm pretty sure. So I take scuttle into the bot side. Yeah, and we see Lux low HP, or not even low HP actually, just full. And we just die. We just straight up kill him. We kill Kate, and then we actually kill the Lux as well. So I wait for Alistar to go in, and then once he is diving, we kill her. And the game is pretty much won. So there's the first clear. As you can see, the game's 4-1. My AD carry is 102, my support's 102, and I'm 101. And from there on, I literally stay bot lane the entire game. I'm just constantly ganking that bot lane. And that's pretty much the game plan you want to have as Kha'Zix. You want to take guaranteed ganks. And once you get your bot lane ahead, it's just easier and easier. Kate used heal and flash. Lux used her flash. They have no getaways. And you can just keep on camping that lane to get your bot lane or top lane or mid lane even more and more ahead. So make sure you're going into these games with a game plan on what you're going to do, what lane you're going to gank, and what path you're going to take. So now we're going to go over the goal of Kha'Zix, and this is basically just Kha'Zix's champion identity. So you pretty much just want to get ahead by bullying the enemy jungler and farming. So on Kha'Zix, you're really good at invading and counter jungling. That doesn't mean you have to invade level 1, as that can always be risky with Kha'Zix. But if you get your red and you want to go to their blue and just go across the thing, if they didn't start blue, for example, you can go ahead and do that. If you 3 camp and then decide that you want to invade and just counter jungle them, you can do that. You pretty much never have to be scared as long as the enemy's laners are in their lane and you can see them on the map. And you're pretty much always stronger than the enemy jungler, no matter who they are. There are some exceptions. So Lee Sin is really strong early. I wouldn't recommend invading a Lee Sin. But pretty much other than that, really, there are a lot of weak junglers that you can just take advantage of. I tend to counter jungle after I do my own jungle, so I feel like that is best. So you just full clear your jungle or 5 camp your jungle, gank a lane, and then after ganking, invade the enemy's jungler and take 2 or 3 of their camps. It's just so easy. It takes 2 or 3 camps from them and gives it to you, and it just helps you out. I recommend only taking ganks that are very likely to succeed. You don't want to take super risky ganks that you can risk dying by taking them. And after getting the advantage early game from a successful gank and counter jungling, you can need to keep that momentum by taking objectives, Dragon, Rift Herald. Rift Herald is huge. Taking that Rift Herald, using it mid, top, bot, getting your laners ahead, taking a first tower, and just taking those objectives. And you want to do this when your camps are down as well. So I do not recommend just going to take Dragon when you have red buff, blue buff, raptors, like all of your jungle up. But once you full clear and you have that little bit of time where you're not doing anything, take a Rift Herald, take a Dragon, depending on what side of the map you're on. And then pretty much in the late game, your goal is to assassinate 1 or 2 players minimum before dying. So you always go for the enemy carries, whether that's the mid lane, AD carry, top lane, the enemy jungler, whoever that is, just go for the assassination. R behind them, R like just run through their team, kill them in 1 shot, and then be on your way. It's very easy to do that on Kha'Zix, and if you do that, you will start winning a lot more of your games. Hopefully that helps. Alright, and here's a game that I think is a pretty good example of a good Kha'Zix game. And our Karma wanted to invade level 1, so we actually do go for this invade. And I think we blow a Mumu's flash, but that's pretty much it. No big deal, we get that flash, and then we just go back into our jungle and do that. So I just start my red buff, and we actually put a ward at his blue buff. So knowing that he didn't start blue, and knowing that he started top side, and not on my blue because we had Tryndamere guarding my blue, I go to take his blue. So there's 2 things that can happen with this. He either does a full clear top side and then comes to his bot side, and I've already taken it and then kill him. Or he goes and takes his top side, then takes mine. So what I do is I take his blue and his Gromp, and I still haven't seen him, so I just assume that he's going into my jungle as well. So then I take his wolves as well. It's already 3 minutes, so I actually wait a little bit, which kind of sucks, but I wait for Scuttle, and I do it. And then I immediately start going to top Scuttle. And my reasoning for this is that I want to double Scuttle. And so my thought process was, after I get top Scuttle, I can go into my jungle, and he's probably in my jungle. But what actually happens is he only takes my blue buff. He doesn't take my Gromp and my wolves. He just takes blue. And this is a mistake by him because he goes for the Scuttle, and I just instantly have vision and just instantly kill him. So then I get the double Scuttle, and this is a little mistake of me to even check if his raptors are up because I know that he full cleared top. But then I just go and take my wolves. I assume he takes my Gromp as well, but then when I get over there, it's actually up. I don't know. I don't know what this kid was doing. And now I'm already level 5 to his level 3. So I wait for my item. I think I get a Dirk. Yeah, I get a Dirk that back. And I actually tell my duo, Sippity the Draven, I tell him, so he full cleared top, he invaded my top side, and he's backing. He died, he's backed. So he's probably going to go bot side. So I go my bot side to do my Krugs, and I tell him I'm on my Krugs for when Amumu ganks. And that's why I even start, like you can see that I start like walking towards bot like a little bit. Like I'm like whatever it's called, pathing towards bot. So then as soon as we see Amumu, I gank bot lane. I know that I got my first blood. Amumu has no flash. They killed bot lane. Like this is a pretty 100% guaranteed gank. So I decide to take it. I kill Lulu. I kill Vayne. And Draven got a kill. Now the game's 6-1. And I just keep the momentum. So they push out bot. I get dragon because I'm so far ahead. And I didn't smite the dragon because I knew Amumu was going to come to contest. So I actually used that smite to confirm my scuttle. So I thought he may be here. I end up wasting some time here, but that's okay. I get his blue and then just go back into my jungle. And as you can see, I'm always counter jungling because I'm level 6, he's level 5. I'm almost 2 levels ahead of him. I think I'm about to be 7 too. So I help mid because Galio was dead and then just continue to my jungle. So now I'm getting my top side and my bot side, and I already took his bot side. I'm level 7. I do Rift because I know that he's bot side. And I just take these objectives that are easy to take when I have almost no jungle to get. And I just keep my momentum and keep doing things that get me even more ahead of him. My Galio's dead. Let me take his farm. Honestly, like, he may get pissed off at me, who knows, but let me take his farm and let me get even more ahead of the enemy jungler. I'm level 8, he's level 6. We get a free kill on Vayne here. And that's pretty much what you want to do on Kha'Zix. You get that small lead in the beginning, and then you just snowball it. You're becoming a bigger and bigger snowball. At this point, I'm 4-0-1, and I haven't even backed yet. Like, that is bad, too. I haven't backed. So when I back here, I'm going to have so much gold. I'm unsure when I actually back and buy. I take this dragon. Let's see. I know it's soon. I'm pretty sure. We take tier 2 buy. I take his blue again. And I back here. I have like 4k gold. I get my Prowlers, my Ionians, and a Dirk for my Serpents. In one back from just a Dirk. Like, I am so far ahead. Amumu has Ninja Tabby, Bommies, and 2 Cloth Armors. And I'm already almost 3 items. It's insane. So that's how you want to play your games. You want to play it in the way that you're just becoming a bigger and bigger snowball, getting further and further ahead. Hopefully that makes sense. And last but not least, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, just please comment down below and let me know. Coaching is available at my Patreon in the link in the description. It's patreon.com/testthelimit. And please, please, please like this video and make sure to subscribe for more informational videos. As you can see, I have 98.7%. So almost 99% of the people that watch my videos are not subscribed. It really helps me out. Thanks a lot, guys, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.